Hey, how's it going? This is Mr. Hernandez, and I have a riddle for you. And I will bet you $5 that you will not guess my number, okay? So, if you want to just kind of take a minute to see what my number is, I'm going to call it X here. Okay, so I will give you my number now, and you got to be honest if you got it or not. So, my number is 1.618033, and it'll actually go on forever because the number that I was thinking of was phi, which is the golden ratio. So I don't think that you knew that that's the number I was thinking. And actually, it wouldn't really be fair, right, for me to just say, oh, guess my number. It's just, and I just make you guess it. Well, in math, we make sure we don't make things unfair like that. And instead, we say something like, something more realistic would be, if I have a number and you take 3 from my number, you get 5. So what would my number be? Well, you'd say it's 8. You take 8 and you subtract it from 3, and that's 5. So that's something that we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to be going over. So in order for this to happen, we're going to take notes. So take out your notebook. This is the part that I'm going to ask you to attach as a screenshot. And what I want you to do is write solutions. And so the definition of a solution is that number that makes an equation true. So underline equation, underline true. That is basically the meaning of solution. Okay? So you could continue to take notes on this, or you could skip to a part that is trickier for you. But what value here will make this solution is a solution to the equation? So that means like you want it to be true. So if you plug in 5 into R, is that going to make it true? If you replace R with 5 or with 7, which one of these is going to make it true? Well, you could test it out. So what I'm going to do is rewrite this, but instead of R, I'm going to write 5, and I'm going to rewrite plus 3 equals 8. And so here I have 8 equals 8, which is true. So this is the solution here. Well, let's plug this one in just to check. So instead of R plus 3, I'm going to write 7 plus 3 equals 8. So then here I get 10 equals 8, and that's false. So which one of these is a solution? It's going to be this one because it makes it true. All right. So that's pretty much what you're going to be doing here. Let me skip ahead. This is a good one. So I'm going to rewrite this, but instead of x, I'm going to write 6. So 6 over 2 equals 4. Well, 6 over 2, that actually is 6 divided by 2, which is 3. Notice I'm writing the answer directly underneath, and I'm just rewriting this 4. So that's false. Okay, let's plug it in for this side. So instead of x over 2, I'm going to write 8 over 2. So 8 over 2 equals 4. 8 divided by 2 is 4, so 4 equals 4, and that's true. So this is the solution, okay? Okay, let me skip over that. This is a good one. So whenever you're writing these equations, highlight the variable, okay? Because that is going to be what you're going to replace. So instead of 7c, well, notice that 7 and c are basically they're right next to each other. So we would call these multiplying. So you could put a dot right between them. So I'm going to write 7 times, and then instead of c, I'm going to write 6 plus 19 equals 61. So notice I'm just rewriting all these other things down. I'm just exchanging the c with the 6. Now it's something that we can multiply. So that's going to be 42. Bring everything down. Bring it even the equal sign down, and the 61. 42 plus 19, that's going to be 61. And I'm going to rewrite this down, and that's true. Let's rewrite this over here. But instead of that c, let's write 6. So it's 7 times, or actually it's going to be 7 on this side. So 7 times 7 is 49. Bring down the plus 19. Bring down the equals 61. 49 plus 19 is 68. Bring it down, and that's false. So this will be true. That's the solution. Remember, solution is always true, right? It's whatever makes the equation true. Okay, this is a good one. So what you could do here, because these both have p's, you could combine like terms, and then you get 7p, 35 equals 7p. So that might make it easier to replace the p with one of these numbers, I mean. So is it going to be, so this would be 35 equals 7 times 5. Well, that would be true. And then this one would be 35 equals 7 times 6, but 7 times 6 is 42, and that's not true. So this would be the solution. Okay, well that's, this is, I could do one more. If you have a highlighter, I would recommend always highlighting the variable, because that's what you're going to replace. So I'm going to replace it with 3 here. Everything else stays the same. So 3 minus 9 is negative 6. So what I'm focusing on is the numerator here, and that's negative 6. Now I'm going to recopy the denominator, recopy the equals, recopy the negative 1. And then negative 6 divided by 6 is negative 1. So that's true. What about over here? Negative 1 equals 9 minus 9 over 6. Well, 9 minus 9 is 0. So 0 over 6 equals negative 1. 0 divided by anything is 0, and that's false. So this would be the solution. But notice, I want you to notice this very important thing. Each of these, this is all being written down here. And now that answer is being written down here. So notice the left side stays on the left, the right side stays on the right, okay? So that's super important when you're finding solutions, is to make sure that the left side goes straight down and the right side goes straight down. I know it's tempting to want to put the answer on the right, but don't do that. You got to put the answer directly underneath. Okay, so this is another one. Again, I'm going to highlight the variable. I'm going to replace that with a negative 12 on the left side. So negative 36 equals 9. In the parentheses, negative 12 plus 8. Parentheses first. Those are different signs. Take the sign, subtract, and take the sign of the bigger number. I'm going to rewrite it in parentheses, put the 9 in front, bring down the equals, bring down the negative 36. A lot of this stuff is basically keeping everything lined up, rewriting everything below, and that's true. Let's look at the right side. Let's replace y with negative 11, see what we get. Okay, so that's going to be negative 3. Bring down the 9, bring down the equals, bring down the negative 36. That's negative 27. And that definitely is not true. So it's going to be this one. All right, so make sure as you're doing your work, you're highlighting the variable being replaced, and you're rewriting it but replacing it with the variable. And then also each step should be directly underneath it. Okay, and that's basically what I'm looking for in terms of the work.